When the Bobbie Voss Charitable Funds was founded in 2005, it was to carry on Bobbie's mission of prevention through early detection. In the 7 years since that time, with your support, we've made a real difference in the lives of people affected by colorectal cancer. Our sponsorship of the Bobbie Voss Laboratory for Colon Cancer Research provides hope for the future in the form of groundbreaking research right here in Wisconsin at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Our support of the Community Outreach Clinic at Community Memorial Hospital in Menomonee Falls provides truly life-saving services in the form of more than 70 colonoscopies for high-risk, uninsured patients, as well as an extensive educational program focused on colorectal cancer awareness. Earlier this year, the Bobbie Voss Charitable Funds lost a good friend of the organization. Jim Hebel and his wife Cheryl had been longtime supporters of our annual golf outing. Sadly, Jim lost his battle with colorectal cancer in January 2012.
Jim was a large man in stature and larger than life in personality. He knew a lot of people. He worked at Kohl's grocery store for about 30 years, most of that time as a manager. He loved to go to any kind of music festival, Summerfest, church festivals all over southeastern Wisconsin. He would drag me to dozens of them a year, and it was like we'd walk a few feet and then, "Hey, Mr. Jim," and walk another few feet, and he'd stop, and he was always being stopped by people that knew him or fondly remembered him as a boss that taught them something when they were young. And very fun-loving, always laughing, always smiling, and somebody that everybody was always happy to see. Jim was diagnosed with colon cancer on a day when we were both at Elmbrook Memorial Hospital. He was getting a colonoscopy and I was getting a mammogram. I was finished and they called me down to see him, and he just very groggily said, "I'm sorry, honey." I'm like, "What are you sorry for?" And he said, "I have a tumor." When he ultimately had the surgery to remove the tumor, that news was, it's not as we had hoped it would be, Cheryl. It has broken through, the tumor had broken through and was in his pelvic cavity, and it was spread. It spread already. Jim lived with the colon cancer for nearly 5 years. He just fought. He worked really well with his doctor, and all of the doctors and the caregivers at the hospital were just wonderful. He tolerated his medicine. He just did a lot. We had a lot of fun. He was able to really learn to live with it and didn't complain when he was feeling down or feeling ill. He was always more concerned about making sure I was happy and the children were happy and that we weren't worrying about him. The Bobbie Voss Charitable Funds, the golf outing we had been going to since day one. It was an event we looked forward to every year with another couple that would fill out our foursome. And we were just so happy to support the outing and help raise money for the research. I would give others the advice of taking their screening seriously. 50 years of age, I think is what is advised. If you have symptoms of any kind, earlier screening. If you have a family history, earlier screening. I would also advise that if you feel like your body is, something's not right, and your doctor perhaps isn't, suggesting a screening, or, advocate for yourself. Jim liked to forget that he had the disease, honestly. He wanted to just carry on life and be happy and pretend things were normal, and which for the most part they were normal. I would say his legacy was that you can live with it, and you can certainly live very well if it's with early detection.
Thanks to the generous support of you, our dedicated donors, golfers, sponsors, event participants, and volunteers, we've come a long way in the last 7 years. Our financial commitments to institutions in southeastern Wisconsin total more than $450,000 and provide life-saving services and world-class research for those affected by colorectal cancer. We are excited and optimistic about the future and are appreciative of your continued support.